It may not have been pretty, but the Bengals get a huge, huge win over the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com here at Paycor Stadium where, yes, plenty of fans were walking out following their 17-13 win, including our own Andrew Fox Miller saying "Who Day," but Jay Morrison of Pro Football Network, I'm stealing the term from him, he said "Lou Day." And I think Lou Day is the perfect way to describe what happened here today, certainly in the second half, where the Bengals defense, they wrecked shop. Let's be honest. They wrecked Geno Smith in this Seattle Seahawks offense. And, yeah, they gave up some big plays. But in that red area right here, in the final 3 minutes, this Bengals defense stepped up big. In the red area down there in the third quarter, they stepped up big, forcing the Seahawks to kick a field goal with just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Mike Hilton with a huge interception over there. Taylor-Britt with an interception in between. And then right here behind me, the two huge goal line stands where they force fourth down turnovers. And, man, Sam Hubbard, just a wrecking machine. 5 quarterback hits. I believe he had 7 tackles, multiple tackles for loss. And obviously the huge sack on fourth down on what a lot of people, including myself, thought might be the Seahawks' last possession with 2:02 left. But the Bengals the offense takes a whole 15 seconds off the clock, which means that the defense has to come back on the field, and they gave up a big play. And the Seahawks get inside the 10 again, and it's like, man, the Seahawks are about to score. They run the ball. They're bleeding the clock, and with 40 seconds to go, B.J. Hill and Sam Hubbard run a stunt. Hill, boom, sacks Geno Smith, or gets close. I think they technically called it an incomplete pass, but hits Geno Smith, ends the game on 4th and 8, and this Bengals defense steps up big. Look, there's a lot of things that we can point out and that we can discuss, and there's 2 weeks to discuss it, and I will right now a little bit and react to the struggles. But this Bengals defense stepping up, that's the defense we expected to see all season. That's the defense that we thought we would see in Cleveland in week 1 or the following week right here at Paycor Stadium against the Ravens, and we could go on and on and on. And we saw flashes on Monday Night Football. Then they came back down to earth against the Titans. Last week, you see flashes again against the Cardinals. Today, against the Seahawks, after what was an ugly start where the Seahawks just go right downfield, 11 plays, and score a touchdown. It looked way too easy. They flipped the script, flipped the switch, and made it really, really tough on Geno Smith and company. This was a heck of a performance by this defense. It really was, because I could name a bunch of guys. I just named B.J. Hill, Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, right? Didn't name DJ Reader yet, who played very big. I don't get the roughing the passer call on him. I thought that was silly and ridiculous. I know he wasn't happy about that. But the point is, you can name a bunch of guys on this defense that made plays. Taylor-Britt all over the field, getting DK Metcalf frustrated in DK Metcalf's grill, holding DK to just 4 catches, 60-plus yards. Taylor-Britt had a perfect pass breakup down there in that end zone against Tyler Lockett where he reached out. It was just perfect coverage, reached out in the corner of the end zone, boom, get that out of here. This defense played hungry, and they played together, and to hold the Seahawks to just 6 points when they were in the red zone 1, 2, 3, 4 times. You have the interception, you force a field goal, and 2 4-and-outs. What a day for Lou's crew. And so, Jay Morrison, I'm stealing it, and now I gave you credit twice, so technically it's mine anyway. Trademark, Lou Day certainly is the day in Cincinnati. That said, it was just a tale of 2 halves because the offense was off full in the second half, 4 first downs total. It was ugly. Their lone points, the 3 points that they did score on Evan McPherson's 52-yard field goal, that was thanks to Taylor-Britt's interception in return to get them in position because it was 3 plays, 0 yards. Evan McPherson kicks the field goal. Money Mac is still here, by the way. But this offense was really good in the first half. I think that's the crazy part is there was a stretch in this game where the Bengals, you were looking at multiple records that could be broken. Burrow was 17 of 19. He had completed 15 straight. One of those incompletes at 17 and 19 was a Joe Mixon drop on third down. They ended up getting the 4th down anyways by getting the Seahawks to jump off sides. But it was like, man, this offense is rolling. And then it just came to a screeching halt and started going in reverse. And outside of the one turnover to start the half, at least they didn't turn it over. I think that's the part of it. But I will say, in a big takeaway, Joe Burrow talked for about 4 minutes. You can check it out right here on CBT. Also, Sam Hubbard, Jamar Chase, Zach Taylor, all of them right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. But the thing that stood out to me about Joe Burrow in the news conference afterwards, he said, we got to get better. He said, look, I'm not going to apologize for a win, but we have to get better. And he wasn't, I don't want to say he was down, but he clearly wasn't as happy as he's been after some wins. And it's because they were awful in the second half on offense. And he might not come out and say it exactly like that. I heard him talking to a teammate afterwards, not going to say who, but he did say, we got to get better. So that wasn't just a line he was giving the media. That was a line he was given in a personal conversation with another starter on offense. And so it's one of those where you look at it and you say, whew, defense, shut the door. The Bengals offense, I think, opened the door to that 3-3 start. And overall, this Bengals team, there's plenty that they can clean up. The defense can work on some things, no doubt. The offense has a lot to work on, and now that's certainly going to be a topic. The good news is that it's much easier to work on those things when you're 3-3. Much, much easier. 2-4. Let's say Geno Smith throws it to Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'll just use the Ohio State product. Jackson Smith and Jigba for a touchdown down here, and the Seahawks win. Well, now it's 2-4. The offense stunk. The defense tried to hold but got pushed to their limit and couldn't. And you have a San Francisco team looming that just lost to Cleveland today. Like, there's just so many ripples. And instead, rewind. They're 3-3. They've won 2 of 3. They've won back-to-back games. And they're feeling pretty good about themselves going into a bye, knowing that they have a lot to work on. It's a pretty good scenario. A couple of injury notes. T. Higgins clearly less than 100% today, played through the pain. I congratulated him afterwards. I think he's doing okay. I don't think he had any issues, but clearly was playing at less than 100%. Same thing with Chidobe Awuzie, dealing with that back injury. Was active today, clearly less than 100%. Orlando Brown Jr. dealing with a groin issue. Not sure how serious that is. The reason it's concerning for me is because he tweaked his groin against Tennessee, was limited in practice going into that Arizona game, and ended up playing, of course, but was full go all week this week, and then soft tissue injury. Again, missed most of the second half, if not all of the second half. Cody Ford filled in at left tackle. We will see how serious it is with Orlando, but you certainly hope that the bye week can get T closer to 100%, Cheeto closer to 100%, and certainly Orlando Brown Jr. as well closer to 100%. We are not going anywhere, even though there's a bye week, because CBT doesn't take any off days, and that means this week you can look forward to one-on-one interviews, maybe a little long-form interview with a specific Bengal that I'm just going to tease right now. But the point is, you should hit that subscribe button. You should ring the bell, because the Bengals, they're 3-3. They're ramping up. I think they're picking up a little bit of steam. Again, even though the offense struggled in the second half, and that kind of put a damper, I think, on everyone's mood, whether it's in the locker room, certainly the fan base, they're still 3-3. And if I would have told you that 7 hours ago, 8 hours ago, depending on when you're watching this, you would have taken it. And I know they're excited to be 3-3. You should be too. We will be here for you all week long, all next week, and we're going to San Fran. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and until next time, for Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapine, signing off for now, where the Bengals beat the Seahawks 17-13 at Paycor Stadium. As always, thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.